Innovations of our oceans. 5 seconds till we start. All right. Question 1. What is the deepest part of the world's oceans? Well, the deepest region, the deepest point. It's got a name. I'll start reading question 2 for the people playing at home. Life on Earth first appeared in the oceans approximately how many million years ago? For those playing here, it'll pop up in a second, but I'm just trying to get ahead of the time delay. Life on Earth first appeared in the oceans approximately how many million years ago? 3.5 billion, 1.8 billion, 600 million, 65 million. Definitely the last one. Question 3 will be, what is the largest animal to have ever lived on Earth? I'll say this is the largest ever animal known to have lived on Earth. So the one that we know about. There could have been bigger, we don't know. I can hear your answers from over here. You're giving it away. Okay, question 4. True or false? The clownfish can change sex or gender. Depends how you want to define it. Question 5 will be, what is the longest mountain range on Earth? Longest, not the highest. Okay. Anatomically, where is a prawn's heart located? Kirsty, you should know this. In response to the smart-ass answer, where in the body of a prawn? Oh. Someone's edited it. Okay. If all glaciers and ice masses on Earth melted, by how much would sea levels rise? Question 8. Approximately what percentage of the world's oceans have been explored by humans? We're pretty good with the surface, but at depth, how much have we explored? Okay. Octopus have got 8 tentacles. How many do they use as arms? Hint, it's somewhere between 1 and 8. Just a total will be fine, Jez. Okay, and the last question for this round. Magikarp famously evolves into which Pokemon? Okay, that's the end of round 1, Deep Blue Oceans. And now to distract you a little bit, I'm going to do another experiment, but this time I'm not going to play with fire. I think I've learned my lesson. So water tension is great fun to play with. It's the reason that a drop of water on the table will make a small ball rather than just spreading out. And it's especially, well, it can be useful in some circumstances, but it's also just fun to play with. So if we take, for example, a glass, it could be beer, it could be water. We place a piece of cardboard, such as a coaster, over the top. And I need 2 hands for this. There we go. Oh, thank you. We can see that the surface tension of the water will hold up that piece of cardboard. How brave are you, Emmy?
A little bit, but I haven't had as much alcohol as I should have.
Alrighty.
I'm less brave now.
It'll be fine, I promise. I have another cup that I have placed a piece of fly screen over the top, so basically some netting full of little holes. Now, if we don't do what I just did and break the surface tension, broke the surface tension. I'll try that again. It worked today, I promise. There we go. So the water tension, the surface tension of the water is distributed across that netting. And yeah, if we provide a surface for it to tense over, I guess. I'm sure there are some physicists absolutely cringing at my explanation of this. I'm a geologist, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop now. Yes, but the small holes in the netting allow that surface tension to hold the water in place without falling out of the cup. Probably a good idea I didn't hold that over your head, Emmy. Is there a towel? It's all right. I think we'll just move on to round 2 before I make even more of a mess. What a disaster this night's turning out to be. Okay, our next round is biology and medicine. So I'll start reading the first... Oh, okay, we're already ahead. True or false, the temperature of reptile eggs while incubating can affect the gender of the hatchling, or the sex of the hatchling. I should say some reptile eggs, not all reptile eggs. I'm sorry, Siobhan. Yeah, there is a towel just on top of the box there. Just sort of. Okay, lyrebirds are known for A, being able to mimic any sound, B, using sophisticated dance moves, C, having the largest eyes compared to skull size, or D, all of the above. Thank you. Okay. Question 3 is going to be, weighing 1.4 to 1.6 kilos in adults, what is the largest internal organ of the human body? I'll just... Question 4 will be, which region or lobe of the human brain is responsible for processing visual signals? Is it A, the hippocampus, B, the occipital lobe, C, the amygdala, or D, the prefrontal cortex? Question 5 will be, what is the name of the virus that causes COVID-19? Yes, there may be hyphens involved in this one. Question 6 will be, bark from the willow tree was originally used to make which painkiller? Okay. Question 7. How many vertebrae does an adult giraffe have in its neck? How many vertebrae does an adult giraffe have in its neck? Ready, the next question is multiple choice. Which 4 letters of the English alphabet are used to represent base pairs in DNA? Which 4 letters of the English alphabet are used to represent base pairs in DNA? I won't read them out because I know I'll get muddled. Another multiple choice question coming up. Can cell walls be found in animal cells, plant cells, or both? And finally, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen European swallow? European swallow. As in not carrying anything. Coconut? Could carry a coconut. Exactly, it grasps it by the husk, doesn't it? We do actually have the data for this one. African swallow, we don't. There's actually 2 types of African swallow. Don't have data for either of them. Alrighty, that brings round 2 to a close. And since that was biology and medicine, I'm going to do another experiment now that's looking at disinfectants and microorganisms. This one I've done a lot more practice with than the last 2, so it should be fine. that I've freaked out everyone in the room with the PPE. I've got my little microorganism here. This is yeast. So the same stuff that is responsible for all the alcohol in your beer that you're probably enjoying tonight. Also makes your bread rise, and is if you smell it, it smells exactly like Vegemite because it's what Vegemite's made of. My disinfectant in here is hydrogen peroxide, also known as, it's commonly used in bleach. So I'm using 6% hydrogen peroxide, not too strong. And where'd my detergent go? Kirsty, did you run off with my detergent? Yes. Can I have it back, please? While we're retrieving the equipment, yeast contains an enzyme which acts as a catalyst. It's called catalase. Thank you. And it has the wonderful ability to break down hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2, into H2O and O2, or water and oxygen. Oxygen comes out of this reaction as a gas, so to catch all that oxygen, we'll add a bit of detergent, give it a little mix. Yeast likes to produce gas as it grows, so I should have left the lid on a little looser. So hopefully by adding in this yeast to our hydrogen peroxide, we should see a pretty cool reaction. If the yeast isn't dead. Oh, he went so fast today. I think our yeast got cold. Oh, that just made it worse. Science. So when I was talking about science being able to predict things before, that was obviously complete BS. Oh. This is supposed to be the reaction elephant's toothpaste. So in theory, we should have seen a small spurt of foam shoot out the bottle, and it would have been very exciting and cool. Yeah, as a time lapse, this will be great. Can we make a GIF of this later? I'm told we can't do that live. It just needs a little bit of support. Ta-da! Because nothing would happen. That much I can predict. My lighter's wet. Tonight's going great. But you can see, I'll turn it for the camera, a nice stream of gas coming out of our container here. So all of these bubbles are full of oxygen gas, pure oxygen gas. And it's the enzyme, that catalase enzyme in the yeast, which is actually present in all living cells. It's something that's essential to prevent the buildup of free oxygen in the body, which can be harmful. So, yay, got it to work eventually. It was filling, when I was rehearsing it today, it was filling the whole bottle in about 2.5 seconds. It was going quite spectacularly. Yes, I think it was a bit warmer today when I was trying it. It does work a lot better when it's warm. Alrighty. Oh, thank you. I don't need pity claps. I think we'll just move on to the next round. All right, next round is history of science, I believe. So, question 1. When was the concept of the atom first proposed? When was the concept of the atom first proposed? BCE means before Common Era, or BC? Historians prefer before Common Era. Our next question. On which islands did Charles Darwin observe feeding behaviour of finches, collecting results that would become a key feature of his theory of natural selection? So this is Voyage of the Beagle stuff, if I remember correctly. If you do happen to misspell it, we can manually override. Question 3. Galileo Galilee was put under house arrest for advocating for which scientific theory? Our next question will be, Francis Crick and James Watson are known for the discovery of the structure of what complex molecule?
Yeah, I think we're missing someone in that little line up there.
If you can name her, we'll mark it right.
He was total pandemic lockdown, man, on house arrest.
If there is a shortened version of the name of this molecule, we'll accept that. Well, I couldn't spell it when I wrote out the question. Otherwise, I would have. Question 5. The modern science of genetics is based on the work done in the 19th century by a German monk. What did he use when conducting his experiments? Just shout it out, Jez. Let everyone know. You could try shouting out the right answer every now and then too. That'll be good. Who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1954 and then the Nobel Peace Prize in 1962? Which planet of our solar system was predicted mathematically before its discovery in 1846? Which planet of our solar system was predicted mathematically before its discovery in 1846? Which English cryptographer designed an early computer to decipher the German Enigma code during World War II? Which English cryptographer designed an early computer to decipher the German Enigma code during World War II? For those playing at home, I've got the screen with the questions over here, which is why I keep looking over here. True or false? Greek polymaths calculated the circumference of the Earth, of the spherical Earth, as far back as 500 BCE, before Common Era. It's sort of a combination of philosophy and mathematics and early science. Unless I've got that definition completely wrong, I could have. And lastly, in 1985, which American physicist and engineer built a time machine into a DeLorean car? Okay, that one wasn't actual history, I'm sorry. All right, well, we're 3 rounds in. That's halfway through our quiz. I think it's time for to check in on some answers, I think. Alrighty. The deepest part of the world's oceans are the Marianas Trench. We'd also accept Mariana Trench or the Challenger Deep, which is the deepest part of the Mariana Trench at 11 kilometres below sea level. Mount Everest is about 8 kilometres above sea level for comparison. Life on Earth first appeared 3.5 billion years ago. Now, there's an argument that it was around before that, as far back as 4 billion years ago, but 3.5 is where we start finding the fossils and the concrete evidence for it. The largest animal ever to have lived on Earth is the blue whale. Argentinosaurus, very close. True or false, clownfish can change their gender? Is true. They are all born male and under certain social pressures when they're adults can change to female. Usually it's become the dominant female of a group. unless I've got that wrong. Geneticists are probably yelling at me. The longest mountain range on Earth, this is more my speed, is the mid-ocean ridges. So it's a continuous mountain range or a mountain system underneath the ocean Oh, who said it's 65,000 kilometres long? Because that's what I've got written down here. So give them a tick for that. All right. A prawn's heart is located in its head. If we can. Most people got that, it seems. All right. If all the glaciers and ice masses on Earth melted, sea levels would rise by... The current models say 65 to 70 metres. There's a little bit of variation, but they're all in that ballpark. Yep. Approximately 5% of the world's oceans have been explored by humans. Octopuses have 8 tentacles. They use 6 as arms. So the 2 tentacles at what is effectively the back of their head, they use almost like legs to move along, and then they use the other 6 for grasping onto things and catching prey and things like that. And finally, Magikarp famously evolves into Gyarados. Oh, who said big blue dragon thing? Should we give him a point for that? Oh, no, that's right. It's not dragon, it's water type. No points for that. Alrighty, biology and medicine. The temperature of some reptile eggs while incubating can affect the sex of the hatchling is true. Reptiles such as turtles and crocodilians, crocodiles and alligators, the temperature of the nest while it's incubating will control how many males and females hatch. Lyrebirds are well known for being able to mimic any sound. There was a very famous one at Adelaide Zoo a few years ago when they were building the new panda enclosures that was mimicking the sound of concrete being poured, power drills, walkie-talkies. It was mind-blowing. And the largest internal organ in the human body is the liver, which we are giving a good workout here tonight by the look of it. The regional lobe of the human brain responsible for processing visual signals is the occipital lobe. The name of the virus that causes COVID-19 is SARS-CoV-2. The bark from the willow tree was used to make aspirin. The number of vertebrae in a giraffe's neck is the same as yours, 7. Every mammal in the world has the same number of vertebrae in its neck. Oh, except? Sloths. Okay, except sloths, apparently. I'm learning things. This is what happens when you invite scientists to a quiz night. The 4 letters used to represent base pairs in DNA is A, C, T, G. ACUG is used in RNA. Cell walls can be found in plant cells. Animal cells have membranes. And the airspeed velocity of an unladen European swallow is, well, depends which study you look at, it's 32 to 38 kilometres an hour. Going into a dive, they can get up to 50, but I don't think that counts. Yeah. Alrighty. And history of science. Here we go. The concept of the atom was first proposed by the Greek philosopher Democritus in about 400 BCE. He hypothesized that all matter is made up of tiny, indivisible particles which are joined together, and there are different types which give different materials different properties. The mechanism he tried to use to explain that was completely off, but he was more or less on the money. The islands on which Charles Darwin observed feeding behaviour of finches was the Galapagos Islands. Oh, looks like everyone got that one. Nice. Galileo Galilee was put under house arrest for advocating for heliocentrism, or the heliocentric solar system, the sun in the middle of the solar system and everything revolving around it. That was, he was convicted for heresy for advocating for that theory in 1633 and died still under house arrest in 1642. Francis Crick and James Watson claim the discovery of DNA. The modern science of genetics is based on work done in the 19th century by Mendel on peas. The person who won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1954 and the Nobel Peace Prize in 1962 was Linus Pauling. He's one of two people to have won Nobel Prizes in two different fields, and his chemistry prize was on the nature of the chemical bond and its application in complex structures, and he opposed weapons of mass destruction, which earned him the Nobel Peace Prize. The planet of our solar system that was predicted mathematically before its discovery was Neptune. So the orbit of Uranus was off by what they were expecting. Using gravity and a little bit of mathematical modelling, they managed to pinpoint within 1 degree where another planet should be. The English cryptographer was Alan Turing. Alan. Greek polymaths calculated the circumference of the spherical Earth. That's true. They actually, I think it was Ptolemy, calculated it, and it was actually pretty close to the real value. They were using measurements of sunlight in wells and the angle of the shadow at different times of day, and they managed to establish that the Earth was a sphere and roughly how big it was. And of course, our favourite American physicist and engineer who built the functional time machine into a DeLorean was Dr. Emmett Brown. All right. After all that, I think it's time for a score update. Let's see how we're all doing. Shaz and Kate, doing well. Mia G. Are you playing on your own? Wow. Sci-dudes, uni students, Schrodinger's cats, baby Zoomers. Hello to the baby Zoomers. Missing in action, I assume you're playing from home. All right. I think it's time for my favourite round. Geology and astrophysics. Alrighty. Oh no, my other favourite round. It can't all be serious. It's time for scientist or serial killer. So an easy one to get us started with. Is this person a scientist or serial killer? Oh, hello. We've gone back. There we go. Scientist, serial killer, or both. Definitely crazy eyes on this one. I won't keep reading the questions for the people at home. I think you get the idea of where this is going. Scientist or serial killer? Definitely crazy eyes on this one. And no, their subsequent work doesn't count. It has to be direct killings. If they discovered something that went on to kill a lot of people, that doesn't count. In answer, I can hear the comments on this table over here. Yes, I'm after the person who presses the button. Definitely crazy eyes on this one. Anyone who combs their hair like this isn't right in the head. Scientist or serial killer? Scientist or serial killer? It's got a very neat beard, this one. Very meticulous. Oh, that could be either of them, really, couldn't it? Are the red herrings helpful? I mean, it seems odd to put both up there if none of them are both. Definitely not something I would do. Oh, no, he looks like a sweetheart. Unless that was a double bluff. Is that a triple bluff now? Oh, oh. Oh, look at the bow tie. Definitely a scientist. I guess the white coat could be someone leading him away, I don't know, into a psych ward. Oh. Oh no. Definitely crazy eyes on this one. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. You didn't know. Alrighty, second to last one now. Is that Jack the Ripper? No, his hair's too neat. He's got that look in his eyes, though. This is a reliable type of profiling, right? Just looking at people? Yeah? Yeah, yeah. Oh, he looks like a nice chap. I'm sure he's definitely helpful. There is a vague resemblance to Anthony Hopkins, yeah. Well, that was fun. Should we get back to some real science? Alrighty. Our next round is going to be the aforementioned geology and astrophysics. So have I got it right this time? It's definitely... Yes. Beach sand is most commonly made of what mineral? Beach sand is most commonly made of what mineral? Oh? Fix this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, someone's got to sabotage me. Huh? What type of rock is granite? Is it sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic? Or all of the above? If you get this wrong, Mia, I'm judging you. Maybe. Okay. Time for a curly one. Yes. I do know the answer. Okay, which of the following could a T-Rex never eat? Was it Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Edmontosaurus, or other T-Rex? What could T-Rex never eat? Edmontosaurus, I think it's a hadrosaur. It sort of looks a little bit like an iguanodon or a Parasaurolophus without the crest. Apologies to everyone playing at home that can't yell questions at me. I'm sorry for the out-of-context answers I keep throwing about. Okay. True or false? There are seashells at the top of Mount Everest. proof of Noah's flood, right? That's how it works. Unless it's false. Then Noah must be a myth. Okay. In total, how many moons would you find around the first 4 planets of the solar system? Those being Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. How many moons would you find around, in total, those 4 planets? How fast will a dropped beer glass accelerate towards the ground? I'm effectively asking the much more inaccurate question of what's the speed of gravity? In meters per second squared, how fast will a beer glass accelerate towards the ground? Excluding the Sun, Proxima Centauri is the closest star to Earth. Approximately how many light years away is it? The closest star to Earth is the Sun. It's only 8 minutes away at the speed of light. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to clarify over here. Alrighty. How many dwarf planets are officially recognized in our solar system? How many dwarf planets are currently officially recognized in our solar system? Is Pluto still a dwarf planet? I should check that. True or false? Dinosaur bones have been discovered where the bone has been replaced by opal. And last one for this round, how many astronomers does it take to screw in a light bulb? Or to change a light bulb, sorry. Change a light bulb. How many astronomers does it take to change a light bulb? Oh, didn't I tell you there's a joke in every round? All right, so that concludes our geology and astrophysics round. I think it's time for a little physics experiment. I'm tempting fate here. I'm playing with fire again. First thing I need is a free-range egg. I want to put my free-range egg into the bottle. Doesn't fit though. I better science it. With the way my night's been going, it could explode. I got one to work. Yes, so that was a simple little experiment with air pressure. The flaming piece of paper in the conical flask heated up the air inside. By putting the egg over the top, I cut off the oxygen supply to the flame. The flame went out, there stopped being a heat source, and the air started cooling down again. As the air inside is cooling down, it's contracting and becoming lower pressure, and the higher air pressure outside is pushed the peeled, hard-boiled egg into the bottle. So I guess that's in there forever now. I tried to get it out before, but I had to get a new bottle. No, there is a way to get it out. I prefer not to squish it. In a bottle with a smaller neck, blowing into it and creating a high pressure inside the bottle will expel the egg. That's not going to work in this case. Hot water poured on the bottle will heat up the air inside and push the egg out. So, sorry? Is that the hypothesis? That was the hypothesis. It was supported by the data. It could yet still be falsified. Alrighty, I'm going to put this away before something terrible happens. Stay. Alrighty, are we ready for the next round? Okay. I think we're up to our last round now, actually. Is it? Are we up to? Yep. So our last round is everybody's favourite, chemistry. Alrighty. Here we go. What is the alcohol that makes up 7% of beer and 10% of E10 petrol? This question was originally going to say hand sanitizer, but apparently you can use any old thing. the next question. Dihydrogen monoxide is often used as a cleaning agent and food additive. What is its common name? Sorry for the confused people in the room. I'm trying to get ahead of the time delay for the people at home. Dihydrogen monoxide is used as a cleaning agent and a food additive. What is its common name? Oh, it's toxic, yeah. Don't inhale it. Okay, that's not toxic. I misspoke. It's deadly. Its gaseous form will burn you pretty badly. Pretty sure they find it in tumours and things as well. Okay. Approximately 78% of the air you breathe is what? Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, or argon? Got to be argon, right? Okay. Hydrocarbons are primarily made of what two chemical elements? Don't overthink it. It's fruit juice, Ian. I'm up here playing with fire. I'm not going to be drinking. That comes after. Combusting or burning hydrocarbons in an oxygen-rich environment typically produces what two major products? So if we burn our hydrocarbons, what do we get at the end? W is the chemical symbol for which element? W is the chemical symbol for which element? W? W. The one that looks like two V's stuck together, and yet we call it W. Man, we should have got some countdown music or something. Doom, 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 doom. What is the melting point of the metal gallium? This one's multiple choice. And these are in Celsius. I couldn't work out how to do the little degrees symbol. I often see this made into spoons, if that helps. I mean, maybe that doesn't help, I don't know. thanks to graphene's high surface area, how much of it would you need to cover a soccer field? Thanks to graphene's high surface area, how much of it would you need to cover a whole soccer field? 5.5 grams, 986 grams, 17.13 kilo, 297.4 kilo. That's oddly specific, isn't it? Olympic standard, yes. Cobalamin, am I getting that right? Cobalamin may refer to several chemical forms of which vitamin? I don't know, I didn't write this question. Where's the multiple choice? I'm getting a disapproving shake of the head there on the multiple choice. Oh, apparently the chemistry questions up till now were too easy. Final question of the night. What do you do with a dead chemist? What do you do with a dead chemist? Okay, that is the end of our chemistry round. I think it's time for a chemistry experiment. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this. So question 51 before was the alcohol that makes up beer. I have got that in its pure form right here. I will not drink it. Thank you. So here I'm trying to get to the ethanol to evaporate into a gas. That little foof on the microphone there was the gas escaping when I removed my hand, so I think it's working.
Yeah, I think it is.
Thanks, Ian. This is how much energy is in ethanol. Yeah, that was our famous whoosh bottle. I didn't destroy anything. I think everything's going well. Shall we do it again? No? Okay. Would you like to see that one again? There's another bottle just down.
The crowd wants blood.
I have ethanol. Will that do? I'll put a bit more in this time. Now we have to use a different bottle because it takes a little while for the oxygen to get back inside. If I did it again in the same bottle, nothing would happen because there's no oxygen to fuel the flame. That's one of those predictions I was talking about earlier that probably isn't right. Do you want to count me down? 3. Yes, the bottle keeps gasping me. Now, I tipped all of the liquid out, and I apologise, it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but there is a little bit of liquid in there. That is water that we've produced. I'm not going to drink it. God. Might not be pure water. That is my final experiment tonight. I'm not going to push my luck any further than that. I managed to do it twice without destroying anything, which is amazing. But I think it's time for to check some answers and have our final score update. So let's go back to scientist or serial killer. Do you want to shout it out for me? Scientist. Obviously, Mr. Albert Einstein there. Our next one. Scientist. Yes, this is Madame Marie Curie. Discoverer of radium. Did a huge amount of work in radioactivity. Is the other person who's got 2 Nobel Prizes in 2 different fields. Along with our friend Linus Pauling from before. This one, anyone? Oh, someone said it. Yeah, Nikola Tesla, scientist. Discovered DC current. Did a lot of electrical stuff. Anyone want to guess on this one? Serial killer, yeah. What are the odds of getting 4 scientists in a row? This is Nanny Doss, aka the Giggling Granny. She poisoned 11 of her family members between 1920 and 1954. She's not a very nice granny, no. What about this one? Scientist, yes. This is Robert Wilson, who won the... he's part of the team that discovered cosmic background microwave radiation. Shared a Nobel Prize for it in 1978. How about this lovely chap? See? I'm getting a few votes for serial killer. He's a scientist. This is Cecil Powell. He discovered the pion subatomic particle. I'm possibly pronouncing that wrong. Alrighty. Who's this lovely chap? This is Peter Sutcliffe, aka the Yorkshire Ripper. He killed 13 people and tried to kill 7 more, so his success rate was only just above half, really, when you think about it. He was convicted in 1981. How about hit this guy with the cold, dead eyes? Serial killer? Yes, serial killer. This one is Donald Nielsen, aka the Black Panther. He killed 3 people while robbing them in 1971 to 1973. Charming bloke. Really. Alrighty. I'll make crazy eyes here. Scientist? Serial killer? Anyone? Both? Oh, no, scientist. No, this chap is Frederick Soddy. won the 1921 Nobel Chemistry Prize for his work on radioactive substances and the origin of isotopes. He might have never got caught, but I don't have the data. Alrighty. Scientist? Serial killer? Hey, I'm getting a couple of votes for both. Who do we got? No, Hannibal Lecter. He was a forensic psychologist and also a little bit of a cannibal. In Silence of the Lambs. He's fictional, of course, so I'm not going to... I tried really, really hard, actually, to find someone who was both a scientist and a serial killer, and I didn't manage it. I guess... I did have finite time, unfortunately. Alrighty, on to our next round, which was geology and astronomy. Beach sand is commonly made of... Anyone? Silica. I'll accept. Quartz is what I was looking for. Silicon is the chemical element. Silica, or silicon dioxide, is quartz. So, sorry, but I had to be a little bit pedantic there. All right, granite, sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous, all of the above. Yes, you will, Kirsty. Is igneous. Hey, what was that, Kirsty? Okay. Yes, granite solidifies from molten rock below the surface. Which of these could a T-Rex never eat? It was Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus lived nearly 100 million years before T-Rex showed up on the scene. We do have T-Rex bones that have T-Rex teeth marks in them, so T-Rex definitely ate other T-Rex at some point. The next question is seashells on top of Mount Everest, true or false? It's true. The rock type at the top of Mount Everest is limestone, which was deposited originally on the seafloor, and then in the collision of the Indian continent into Asia, those mountains of the Himalayas were pushed up, and that seafloor rock was carried up with it. It's not evidence of Noah's flood. How many moons would you find around the first 4 planets of our solar system? 3. Mercury and Venus don't have any moons. Earth has 1, Mars has 2. How fast will a beer glass dropped accelerate towards the ground? 9.8 meters per second per second. So we're talking acceleration there, not just straight speed. Excluding the Sun, Proxima Centauri is the closest star to Earth. How far away is it? 4.3. Light years. How many dwarf planets do we have in our solar system? 2? 2? I'm getting 2. I thought it was 5. I've got them here. So we've got Ceres, which is basically a big asteroid. It's in the asteroid belt. We then have Pluto, Eris, Haumea, Makemake. Yes, those are the 4, and they're all in the outer solar system. Dinosaur bones made of opal. Does it happen? It does. Lightning Ridge, there's a few. Cooperpedes definitely got fossilized plesiosaurs in opal. I know it's not a dinosaur, but there are definitely true dinosaur opal fossils in Lightning Ridge. And finally, how many astronomers does it take to change a light bulb? Well, no. None. They prefer the dark. Oh, who said none, they won't change it? Give them a point for that. Thank you. Alrighty. And our chemistry questions. What is the alcohol that makes up 7% of beer? I think I talked about this before with our ethanol. it coming up? There we go. Oh, everyone got that right. Looks like. Go you. Dihydrogen monoxide. Anyone? It's water. Dihydrogen H2, monoxide O1, or just O. It's a common cleaning agent. It's a food additive. It's been found in acid rain. If you inhale it, it can be fatal. Its gaseous form will burn you. Just because something's got a complicated chemical name doesn't necessarily mean that it's scary. 78% of the air you breathe is nitrogen. Oxygen is 21%, 1% argon, a little bit of carbon dioxide. I won't quote the number because I think it's changing. Hydrocarbons made of hydrogen and carbon. If we burn hydrocarbons, what do we get? Carbon dioxide and water. Oh. Look at everyone acing this round. You were right, they are too easy. Alrighty, W is the chemical symbol for which element? Tungsten, everyone got that too. The light bulb filaments in the old school light bulbs. The melting point of gallium. Has anyone ever seen the gallium spoon? When you stir it in warm water and it just melts. It's great. Cobalamin. Oh no. Graphene's high surface area. How much of it would you need to cover a soccer field? 5.5 grams. So graphene has a surface area of 2,630 meters squared per gram. A soccer field is... Are these the right measurements? That doesn't seem to add up. I've got here a soccer field is 7,140 meters squared. Okay. Let's see. Cobalamin is vitamin B12. Ooh. Ooh. A bit of a mixed field there. And lastly, what do you do with dead chemists? You bury them. You bury them. Do you get it?
That's terrible.
That was the point. Okay, I think it's time for a score update. Let's see how everyone did. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Shaz and Kate, 33 points. Who, have we got Shaz and Kate in the room, or are they online? Ah, congrats! You get first pick of our prizes. The Psy Dudes, where are you? Nice work, second place. The Umbrella Academy. Congratulations, coming in third. Oh, equal third with Mia, is it? Oh, yes, sorry. It's a little bit... it's a bit difficult to read from this angle. That's all right. Okay, well, I guess the Umbrella Academy and Mia... Do you think you can share prizes, you lot? Yes. So, well done to everyone else. What happened there? Missing in action? They must have been missing in action. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a fantastic night. It's been a wonderful pleasure having you all here. Apologies, not everything went according to plan up here for me. I was hoping it would be a little bit more spectacular, but I'm sure you got a laugh out of it at my expense. Anyway, that's exactly right. Science doesn't always work the way you like. I forgot to take into account things like the ambient room temperature, that flaming bubbles might drop into my bowl in front of me. You know, it was just, it was a learning experience. Thank you very much, everyone. Our next Science in the Club will be September 30th, if I remember that correctly. our theme will be neuroscience. I'm not sure exactly how we will be doing the format of that one, whether it would be like this, semi-online, fully online, or all in person. We will let you know on Facebook at a later date. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, the New England Northwest Regional Science Hub. If you're watching the stream online and you haven't already liked us, make sure you do that. Thanks, everyone.